I bet if I picked up a microphone and said, "Today the weather will be pleasant," anyone from Japan who heard me would just think, "Oh, Otaki must be testing that microphone."
10 seconds left.
But people from other countries would think I was giving a
5,
forecast.
4.
They'd assume
3,
I just wanted them to
2,
know it would be clear.
1. Okay, time's up. Pass your papers to the front.
Both assumptions could be considered reasonable. Both parties have a 50-50 shot at being right. It all depends on luck. What's the world coming to, man? I've been wondering, your Uncle June, did everything go all right with his funeral?
It turned out very well, thank you.
Oh, good. What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just... Otaki, could you do me a favor? Do you think that you could light some incense for my uncle?
You want me to?
Yes, please. I am planning to make a trip out to his gravesite in the next few days or so. And, well, I hoped you'd come with me.
Yeah, sure. I'll go.
Oh, great! I'll be in touch with you about the details soon.
Cool.
I just have to tell you, Otaki, you have a gift when it comes to mysteries, and I'm grateful that you solved the one about my uncle. I think you're amazing.
You know, I appreciate the sentiment, but I've always just gotten lucky. I wish you wouldn't treat me like I'm a big deal or whatever.
You sure are humble. That's impressive.
Oh, man. She totally missed the point. Chitanda, I heard something once upon a time that struck me as profound.
What is that?
You can put poultice and plausible reason on anything.
Otaki, the saying goes, you can put plaster and plausible reason on anything.
That's what it says? I just mean you can find reasons to support anything you want.
If you say so, then the reason you've solved all these cases is only pure dumb luck, and it has nothing to do with your intelligence. And your talent isn't a factor either, okay? However, you've been able to capitalize on the luck you've had and follow through to the correct conclusions. Now, isn't that in and of itself a particular kind of talent?
Are you trying to say I'm a master of reason?
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you are. I couldn't tell you how I made those deductions. Honestly, that's the real mystery here.
If I had to guess, what I would say is that you have never really taken a good, honest look at yourself.
She's not wrong there. In that case, Chitanda, I want you to come up with a situation. I'll prove to you that I can invent a good reason for it, whatever it is.
This is a dream come true!
This is the perfect opportunity to show her that she can't actually rely on me.
All right, then. What should I pick for you?
Anyone who was shopping at Kobundo near the train station on October 31st, please report to Shibazaki in the faculty room immediately.
What is that all about?
No clue.
Let's make that the situation! Please deduce why that announcement was made just now. So what's the story behind it?
Okay, fine. Challenge accepted.
Right, here you go.
Your power of recollection is as intimidating as ever. That's no compliment. Let's see. Anyone who is shopping at Kobundo near the train station on October 31st, please report to Shibazaki in the faculty room immediately. First thing we should do is a word check. Do you know what this Kobundo is?
Yes, it's a little stationery store across from the train station. It's very quaint, and it's run by a sweet elderly couple. I've only been there once, though.
What kind of stationery?
Oh, the usual. North Elementary is nearby, so I think they might specialize in the kinds of things grade schoolers would use.
So it's not the kind of place where high schoolers would go out of their way to shop.
I suppose you could say that.
Is Shibazaki on the faculty here?
Oreki, Mr. Shibazaki is the vice principal. For all your deductive prowess, you're not good with remembering people's names, huh?
Leave me alone. If I don't have to, I'm not going to. If I have to, I'll do it as quickly as possible. That was my unshakable creed. But the stakes of this contest are high. I'm going to have to turn up the heat a little on this one. First off...
Yes?
I've deduced why Shibazaki would be calling people in to see him.
Yes, I have a pretty good idea of that myself.
Just to make things clearer, let's refer to the student who's been called out as X.
Now we're getting into the swing of things.
Why don't you have a seat?
Okay.
At this point, with the information we have, there's no way to know whether X is a single kid or multiple people. Could be anything. A teaching moment. He could be trying to teach X a lesson about something that happened. In other words, he could be calling X to the faculty room to chew them out.
What makes you so certain about that?
Because when students are called down to the faculty room, it's very rarely for something good. That's what you call inductive reasoning.
Oreki, are you taking this seriously?
I haven't been this serious about something since I started at Kami High. I'd go so far as to say I haven't been this serious my whole life. Besides, if he was summoning X to the faculty room to offer praise, he wouldn't put it in such vague terms. He would just say that's what was going on, and he would have called the person out by name. With an announcement like that, anyone involved would be too anxious to answer it.
You're right, that's a good point.
Furthermore, that sounded like an urgent page.
You mean because he said immediately?
No, most pages use that word. It's not that. This announcement deviated from the standard pattern, so we can deduce that they made it hastily.
Standard pattern? How so?
Let's say you wanted to make an announcement addressing me, asking me to come to Class 1A. What would you say?
Well, let me see. Something like this. Attention students. Would Hotoro Oreki of Class 1B please report to Eruchi Chanda in the 1A classroom?
Is that really all? Try to think of other announcements you've heard this year. If it were me, I'd say... Attention! Would Eruchi Chanda of Class 1A please report to Hotoro Oreki in Class 1B at once? I repeat. Would Eruchi Chanda of Class 1A please report to Hotoro Oreki in the 1B classroom at once? It's not like a regular announcement. Usually summons like that are repeated somehow. But for whatever reason, he only made this announcement once. I think it's safe to conclude he was in a rush. It's not just any run-of-the-mill rush, either.
It's not?
I know that because of when we heard it. He made the announcement after school.
I don't know. That seems pretty insignificant if you ask me.
Oh, yeah? Then I won't say why I think that.
Oreki, come on!
It's just a bit odd. Why make that announcement after school? Why not make it earlier in the day? Sure, Kamiyama may have a ton of after-school clubs and activities, but there's still plenty of students here who leave right away. That makes me think he made the announcement after school, because the event that caused the announcement happened after school too. And it was urgent enough that he couldn't risk waiting to summon X until tomorrow. So that means Shibazaki followed his impulse and took the gamble that X hadn't gone home from school yet.
I gotta say, this whole thing feels incredibly shady to me.
Yeah, me too.
And the term shady, how did it come to mean what it does?
Don't know. Next deduction. Whatever Shibazaki wants to speak to X about, that subject can't be discussed out in the open. Whether that's just for now or forever, we have no way of knowing.
Do you figure that because Shibazaki didn't give a reason for making the page?
That's a factor, but there's an even clearer reason I think so.
It's not clear to me.
Shibazaki is the vice principal, right? The guidance counselor is usually the one who comes down on students.
That's right! Morishita is always the one to call students in.
Where's the guidance counselor's office?
It's on the second floor of the main building.
But Shibazaki summoned X to the faculty room and not the guidance counselor's office. To me, that means the circumstances were serious, and that all information about this incident was to be kept between the administration only. Or so it could be argued.
Listen, Araki.
What is it?
Judging by what you've deduced about this situation so far, I can't escape the feeling that X was involved in doing something really bad.
Well, that's what all the signs point to.
So then...
Student X committed some kind of crime. This is only a game between Chitanda and me. My explanation doesn't have to match up with the truth. I mean, the whole point of this was to prove that my assessments are only right when I have a good deal of luck on my side.
So then, what crime could X have committed?
Before we get to that, if we assume that my deductions are accurate, we have to note that the school doesn't have a police officer, so it's likely that law enforcement has been summoned here to talk to X about what went down. If a crime was committed, it must have happened on October 31st. And yet, the announcement came a few minutes ago and seemed really hurried. It's conceivable that the page followed immediately after some request from law enforcement.
But that could have been done relatively easily over the phone.
That may be true, but if worse came to worse and it was decided that X was guilty, the police might have to take X into custody. They could have come to the school just in case that became necessary.
Custody? Do you mean if X is found guilty that they would face criminal charges?
Well, it's possible. Hey, it's a game, remember?
Oh, right. I keep forgetting.
If X weren't the culprit, Shibazaki would have waited to make the announcement, and he wouldn't have sounded so rushed.
That makes sense.
Now, as far as what crime we may be dealing with here, do you have any ideas? It must have to do with the store somehow.
Well, let's see. Shoplifting is the obvious choice. Beyond that, it's possible that someone had committed crimes at other locations, but police received a testimony that someone of that suspect's description had been seen shopping at Kobundo. But if that's the case, the crime could have been any number of heinous acts. It could have been anything.
That's a detailed answer for having been put on the spot. Considering the announcement, I doubt anyone gave a physical description.
Why's that?
If the police had a description of someone who had committed a crime, they would probably share it with Shibazaki. He would have been able to think of at least one name, and wouldn't just have said anyone who was shopping at Kobundo in the announcement.
That's a good point.
The incident occurred at Kobundo, and all we know for sure was that X was shopping there on October 31st. Was the purpose of the announcement to make X turn themselves in? If that's the case, it's kind of a weird way to do it. I speculate that law enforcement doesn't know very much about X, but they assume that the announcement will lead X to confess their crimes.
Why would that be?
If I had done something wrong and that page came over the PA system...
Anyone who was shopping at Kobundo near the train station on October 31st, please report to Shibazaki in the faculty room immediately.
10 more seconds.
Good. The police still don't know I'm the one who did it. If all goes according to plan, I could get away with it and go on to become a criminal mastermind. Why would a guilty party ever come forward just because they heard an announcement like that? If they had some sense of remorse about the crime? No, if that were the case, they'd have turned themselves in already and wouldn't be at large.
What are you thinking?
Let's forget about the nature of the crime for a moment and try another tactic. Now suppose X felt guilty about what they had done. Maybe they decided to apologize to the owners of Kobundo. In writing.
Wait, in writing?
Chitanda, do you know the date off the top of your head?
Of course, it's November 1st.
So the crime was committed yesterday, October 31st, right? Why didn't Shibazaki say Kobundo next to the train station yesterday in his announcement?
Now that you mention it, that is quite unusual.
Why would someone spell out October 31st instead of saying yesterday? One explanation could be that they have some sort of form or note in front of them on which all that is written out, and they are reading the date directly from it.
A form or a note, huh?
Yeah. Furthermore, why did the police know that X was involved in a crime but have no idea what X looks like? Why would they assume that X would come forward just because they were paged? To put it another way, why would they think X felt remorse for the crime? It has to be that X sent an apology note to Kobundo. It probably went something like this. I'm terribly sorry. I was shopping in your store on October 31st and committed an unlawful act. I intend to pay for the damage I caused, so please accept such and such and my sincere apology. Kobundo then takes that apology note directly to the police. Either the police or other law enforcement follows up on the letter and decides to come to Kami High. That just happened, mere moments ago. Then Shibazaki reads the note and is so outraged that he makes a hasty school-wide announcement summoning the suspect to the faculty room.
Hold on a minute! Oreki, by your logic, even though X wanted to apologize to Kobundo and repay them for the damage, they hoped by writing the letter that they could settle without any police involvement, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
In that case, I don't think X would have indicated in their letter that they were a student at Kamiyama High, would they? So then how would the police have known to look for them here?
Maybe when police asked the owners of Kobundo for a physical description of the suspect, they detailed X's clothes and police put together that it was the uniform from Kami High. That would be one possible explanation.
Interesting.
And if X did anything that made them stand out, it would make sense for the owners to remember details.
What would make them stand out?
Well, let's see. We might be able to determine the crime from that. So X behaved oddly. They did something outrageous enough to attract attention, but that's not necessarily illegal. Then X committed a crime, the nature of which is such that, without the apology letter, no one would have known right away. X was consumed with regret. X's crime was serious enough that it warranted contacting law enforcement immediately. Whatever X did yesterday, it wasn't something petty like shoplifting.
Then what?
Shopping in a way that stood out. Shopping that became illegal. You said that Kobundo is a stationery store that caters to grade school kids, so it's not likely that they carry anything of much value. Shopping. 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 No way.
What is it?
Our friend X tried to pay with a counterfeit 10,000 yen bill.
But that can't be true! It's just way too far-fetched! I don't think it's realistic! It defies any sort of logic! It's a terrible theory! It's completely catastrophic!
Whoa. Hey. Calm down. This is just a game, you know?
Right, I'm sorry.
It's not real. Don't take it so seriously.
I know, but still, it's not possible. It can't be.
Why are you so sure it's impossible?
It's been all over the news that someone has been trying to pass off 10,000 yen bills. That's what gave you the idea in the first place, that X must be someone from our school who tried to pay with one of them yesterday, right?
Yeah?
But X could not have possibly gotten a hold of one of those counterfeit bills. Or even if they had, they would have realized it was fake and handed it over to the police.
What makes you say that?
Bear with me here. Let's say X did get a counterfeit bill. Where do you think they could have done that?
From an ATM, I would imagine.
Counterfeit bills that are good enough to slip past bank tellers into an ATM aren't very common. And even if by some chance that happened, the bill would be so good that X wouldn't spot it.
If X was given change... Oh.
That's right. You can't get 10,000 yen bills as change. Except for commemorative coins, the 10,000 is the highest note there is here.
I think I see what you're getting at now. That means there's only one or two other ways in which X could have acquired a fake bill innocently. But even if we assume X's parents own their own business and had a counterfeit bill given to them without their knowledge, if X had gotten it as allowance or something, X would have had the chance to tell his or her parents it was a fake.
I think you're right. And if X had earned it at a part-time job or something, they would have had a chance to turn it in then as well.
What if X found it?
That would be too crazy!
Yeah, someone who would find a counterfeit bill and try to pass it off as real doesn't seem like the kind to write an apology letter, do they? X probably noticed at the last minute and felt guilty as they were trying to pay with it.
Without knowing how X obtained a counterfeit bill, it's impossible to say whether your deduction is realistic.
A 10,000 yen note. Chitanda, would you say that you like money?
I'm not sure. I suppose it's fair to say I like it more than I dislike it.
If you dropped 10,000 yen, would you miss it?
Yeah, of course I would. Well, unless I knew my money wasn't the genuine article.
If it was your own real money, then I bet you would miss it for sure. The reason X felt guilty, even while committing the crime, is that it was their own money, even if it was a fake. I submit that X must have gotten that bill from someone thinking it was legitimate currency, and if that wasn't from wages or allowance, there's only one other possibility. Someone gave it to them when they repaid a loan. If X had gotten the bill in that manner and discovered it was a fake, they'd have been really disappointed. That being the case, it's hard to blame them for trying to use it at a store run by an old man and woman, even if they knew it was immoral to do that.
Even so, they still would have had the opportunity to turn it in and exchange it for real money.
I don't know. A fake bill is like the joke or an old maid. No one wants to get stuck with it. You know, the longer I think about this, the more plausible it sounds to me. Hey, X, I have the money that I borrowed from you a while back. Oh, why, that's great. I appreciate it. It was 10,000 yen, right? Here you go. Yes, thank you. Then surprise, it's a fake bill. Maybe Y, who borrowed the money from X, had seniority over X, complicating things. So X didn't feel like they could object when Y paid them back with a counterfeit note. At this point, I think it's safe to say that X is just one person. And since Kobundo is a store that sells inexpensive stationery for grade school kids, it would be weird for high schoolers to come in buying things with 10,000 yen bills. I think that wraps that up. Then there's Y. Y also came across a fake bill. It could be that Z, someone above Y, gave it to them. If we lump everyone above Y together as one collective, then who are they? A store manager somewhere with no conscience, or the counterfeiter themselves? The police may have gotten involved at Kami, in the hope that they could find out from X specifically where the counterfeit bills were originating. That's my guess. And that concludes my deduction. After I talked for so long, it seems kind of rude for her not to respond. Whatever. Kobundo is over that way, isn't it?
That's amazing. Anyone who is shopping at Kobundo near the train station on October 31st, please report to Shibazaki in the faculty room immediately. A whole story. Wow, just from that one announcement.
Yeah, that's what we came up with. Game over, I guess.
Hey, Oraki.
Huh? What is it?
I seem to remember that we started this whole game as a way to settle an argument we were having about something.
Oh, that rings a bell. Now what was it again?
I can't recall. Oh, Oraki. I have an idea. Do you want to deduce what it was?
Give me a break. Whoa. But that was supposed to be a game. I thought it couldn't possibly be true.